When I think about His grace, His freedom, something like a woman praise. I'm grateful for the loving that you gave. It's so amazing.
It's Sunday, and I just not too long ago got home from church, but I wanted to share something with you, and I didn't even want to take the chance of going home and not even recording this, so I just decided let's just do it right now. A couple of days ago, I was in Walmart and I was school supply shopping, and as I was looking at these different folders, or maybe it was construction paper or something like that, there was a guy that came on the aisle from the opposite end that I entered the aisle from, and he was trying to reach something, but my cart was in the way. So he said, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry." And I said, "Oh, excuse me." So I pulled my cart back and I stepped back so that he could go ahead and get what it was that he was trying to get. And so he said, "Can I just say you are so pretty?" Or he either said, "You are so beautiful." And I said, "Thank you. Thank you so much." I thought that was a really nice compliment, because I was not even in a situation where I had put forth much effort. I had woke up, brushed my teeth, cleaned my face, and just put my hair in a ponytail, and I was out the door. So no makeup, nothing. And so that compliment, it really impressed me. It was pretty flattering, to be honest. And so he went on to ask, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And I said, "No, I'm not dating, but thank you." He said, "You're not dating?" And I said, "No, I'm not dating." And so he said, "Well, ma'am, you have a very nice day." I said, "Thank you." So he turned around to leave. And before he actually turned the aisle, not turned the aisle, but before he actually turned the corner to leave that aisle, he turned back around and he said, "Well, I mean, I know you said you're not dating, but can you at least have a friend or something like that?" And I just burst out laughing, because I was just surprised that he even said those things that he said, and then surprised that he even turned around to come back. So I said, "I tell you what, give me your phone number." And so he was getting ready to give me his number, but my phone was somewhere down in my purse. I didn't even have my phone close. So I gave him my phone number, and he said, "Okay." He told me his name, and he said, "I'm going to message you later." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "It was very nice to meet you, and I'll text you soon." So he left. I finished my shopping, and I did hear from him by way of text message before I even left the store. So we began texting. He told me his name, where he's from, and right off, I can tell you what I liked about him was, first of all, he was very polite in the store. He was just very polite. Secondly, in his text messages, he used complete sentences. Sentence structure, grammar was good, all of that. And you may be thinking, well, of course it was good, but that's not always the case, though. That's not always the case. So he came off as a very intelligent person, a very nice guy. I ran out of storage, so I had to switch cameras. Be sure to share this video if you think it can be just helpful, impactful, or encouraging to anyone that you know who may be on this journey or thinking about going on a journey of celibacy. So we exchanged phone numbers. Well, I gave him my number, and he did text me before I even got out of the store. I got a message from him. His conversation was very polite. It was very nice. Just asking me a few different questions. I asked him a few questions, and it was seemingly going pretty well. As I said in the beginning, very intelligent. I just got the vibe that this is someone who can express himself or articulate, pretty well for what it was worth, for the small bit of information that I had gathered about him so far. At some point, he sent me a message, and the message read, "I know you said that you're not dating right now, and I really don't want to waste your time. So would you be interested in hooking up sometimes?" My immediate response was, no, I don't do hookups, but thank you for your honesty. That was my last message to him, and I have not heard from him since, and I'm sure that I will not hear from him again. But this is the reason why I wanted to share this. As women, I don't know if men go through this as well, so I can't speak from the from the male perspective on this particular part. But for women, sometimes we'll double back, or we'll settle, or we'll say something and then we'll kind of make some amendments to in order to accommodate something that we've already said we're not going to accommodate, for the sake of not losing someone and for the sake of not having anybody. We'll go ahead and make adjustments and just basically settle. We'll go ahead and do that, and we'll talk ourselves through it and say, well, he's nice. You just got to work with him. He's nice. I mean, over time, I can change that. He's nice. I'll be able to get him to stop doing that. No, you won't. If you have already said, I am on a celibacy journey, which I didn't say that to him. We didn't get that far, because I don't lead out with that. I do let people know very early, but like the first time, if you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm celibate. I don't do that. So we didn't ever get to that level of conversation where I could even let him know. But still, I know who I am. So a lot of times we'll go and we'll make adjustments, or we'll make excuses for someone. And so that's how we can end up with someone that we're unequally yoked with, someone who doesn't want the same thing that we want. And then we'll tell ourselves, well, and nobody's perfect. Everybody got issues. Yes, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Yes, we all have issues. However, oh, yes, sir. Thank you so much. However, you do not need to make these really huge amendments, make these huge sacrifices, basically sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your beliefs, sacrificing your morals, sacrificing agreements that you have made with yourself, sacrificing all the work that you have done, all for the sake of not losing somebody who is nice, but he was very nice. However, I don't do hookups. So when it comes to your journey, you have to have a made up mind about what you're going to accept, what you're not going to accept, what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And it cannot be based on how cute someone is, how fine somebody is, how sexy somebody is, how they made you feel when you first look at them. It cannot be contingent upon that. Say what you mean, agree with yourself, and stick with it. Even if you mess up, learn from that lesson, get back up, regain your footing, remind yourself of who you are, and move forward. But do not feel like every time you meet someone who may be a good prospect, who might be good for you, but that but is big, because that thing will be the very thing that annoys you and irritates you and could probably lead you somewhere where you don't want to go. If somebody is talking to you about hooking up, I mean, to me, that only means one thing. It's a chance that he could have meant hanging out, but it's his responsibility to make that clear. He chose not to respond at all, which tells me that I interpreted the term hookup correctly. So don't feel like you have to do anything. You make your decisions about your body, about your time, about who you're willing to invest in and who is worthy of your time. You don't have to take whatever you see, because maybe you've been alone for a long time, or maybe you're afraid that if you keep being so picky, you won't get anybody. And yeah, there is some truth to that, but there are some things that we just cannot budge on. If you have made an agreement with yourself, or you have made a commitment to the Lord, that right now, celibacy is the best thing for you, and this is the walk and the journey that you want to be on, don't let nobody come in between that. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much for watching.
Keep the